Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Jawesome one, and welcome back to WimWorld's special scenario, Pirate Hunters. For those of you guys who are new, the whole point of this entire scenario is to wipe out the red pirate faction. Let me show up the world map and show you who they are. Okay, I previously had them selected here. Alright. Yeah, we're taking out this entire red pirate faction known as the Crushers of Torment. We're going to completely wipe them out and see what the game does. I have my own theories that I addressed in the very first episode. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Anyways, in the last video, I did leave you guys off in a much smaller base than what we have now. I decided to skip past all of the base building stuff because that was just getting boring and people just weren't really watching it. Nothing was really happening, even though I have Randy Random on rough. What I want to show you for this video is, first off, I want to make it perfectly clear. I'm not done. I'm still making videos. It's just been harder because work has been making me do a lot of work. I've been getting a lot of hours though, so that's a good thing. But that's also made it much more difficult for me to make any sort of videos. So yeah, I made this incredibly powerful not really a base, what do you call this? A kill box. I made myself a very powerful kill box. I've built up a pretty decent base. I'm still working on getting everyone separate bedrooms. We are going to eventually remove these deployable tents. And I did exactly what I said I needed to do in order to send my next group out to tackle the next pirate base. So I have my 4 dudes here, Justin, Lockhart, Thaler, and Mai, who are like amazing fighting units. Really good. Don't mind the fact that some of these guys have, like, you know, 5 and 4 shooting and melee. These guys are amazing, and I intentionally had them set up to make sure that they are set up that way. And now I have everything that I'm ready, and in the next video, we will actually be taking out this pirate base. But for this video, I want to show you guys exactly everything that happened. So here we go. Let's load game, and let me show you where I left you off with before. Okay. So here's where we were at before. This is, I believe, where I left you guys off previously. And, oh, it wasn't even summer when I left you guys off. Apparently it was in spring. So, yeah, I've had a while to work on colony building and everything like that. So I was having these guys chop down some trees because we were going to make a ton of beds. This area right here is what becomes our trading area slash visiting place later on. And I had no clue, but apparently winter actually gets like really cold here. Which, I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. This is a desert, so when it gets cold, it gets pretty darn cold. So yeah, this is where we were at before. All we were using was just the cloth tents. We had just our 4 dudes. No, wait, no, this doesn't seem right. This isn't where I left you guys off in the last video, was it? Huh. Well, in any case, yeah, this is basically where we started off. Yeah, no, this was the very beginning. This is like, basically this is like the 3rd or 4th video in. That's right, I'm taking a trip down memory lane. It's been a while since I've actually gotten to make any videos on this game. Let me show you guys where we went from there. Okay, yep, here we are. I think this is where we left off, actually, in the last video. So summer has begun, and yeah, no, this is after. This is at some point between videos. Yeah, here we go. Here's the plans I set up for getting those 10 bedrooms made. I'm eventually going to actually extend this out. This is literally just going to be for bedrooms. Like, I have no other purpose to this. Because I already have, like, big enough of a guest room. This is also our dining area. Kind of like what I did here where I set up tables and tools and stuff. I made the table out of steel because it doesn't matter what material you use to build these tables because it doesn't affect the comfort levels of colonists while they're eating. But the material you use to build the chairs does matter. So that's why I built those out of wood instead of out of steel. Yeah, I remember this. We needed to get Angie a bed, or I needed to get Angie a bed. So and I quickly built up some beds up in here. This is like eventually gonna be our prisoner area, and I'm gonna make it look nice because if you make your prison room basically the nicest possible room, you have a much higher chance of recruiting those prisoners and a much lower chance of them like trying to break out. So that's kind of the purpose of doing that. It just makes them want to cooperate with you a bit more. And yeah, this is the kill zone as it's being built. I have this really cool mod that lets me build moats. I can show you that right now. If we go to security here, I can build a shallow moat, light perimeter defense to slow down enemies. It can be dug on diggable terrain. So I couldn't build them over here because this is all slate. It's all rock. So I can't build a moat there. Yeah, and this is the start of that. What's now extra thick. It's an extra thick wall. And we had our little forest here, which... Oh, no, this isn't too far, because I remember this forest burned down. And I think in one of the videos I recorded. Or it's one of the videos I deleted. I don't remember. After the last video, I did have a couple other videos recorded, but I deleted them because they were boring and nothing was in it. Like, nothing was really happening. Even with Randy Random on rough difficulty, like the raids, like were taken care of without any issues. Nobody was having too hard of a time. Everything was going just pretty roughly okay. So there was really not much of anything for me to worry about. I do remember being extremely concerned about the power though, because these batteries are full and they're getting way too much wattage from these. I'm surprised that they didn't explode, but well, we'll get to that soon enough. Something did happen. They did explode, but not because of the power. I'll mention that once we get, I think, into the next loaded save that I have here. This is how we have everything set up. This is our hospital. It's in the makings. And then we started growing flax because I found out that it makes like a really good cloth. In another like sort of in another save that I have, I'm playing like as a tribes people, and I'm like, the whole purpose of it was just to explore the mods a bit before I started on this. Oh, also I got like coffee. I don't remember how I got them, but I just got coffee. Pretty cool. It gets used up pretty quickly because I allowed people to use it as a joy source. Yeah, here's everything that we have. Not really that much to say here, but you can clearly see that we're growing, we're getting bigger. There's more people coming in. We got Princess, who is an amazing character. She has like awesome shooting, so I gave her a sniper rifle. So she's just insanely good. She's even a careful shooter, which means, yeah, she's just awesome all around. And then we have Engie, who kind of stinks. I think she just joined the colony. It wasn't really anything I could do about it, but she's also a child, which means she's gonna have a long time to live, which means I can build up on those skills, even though she doesn't have very many skills. It makes sense. To me, it makes sense that she wouldn't have too many skills, because she's just a kid. On to the next save. Okay, so yeah, here we are with the Mad Wabbits. This was pretty funny. I'm gonna actually show you the way this went down. We nearly, I remember how this fight goes too. We managed to survive it. I did save scum a little bit because everybody just got injured really bad, like really fast. We had like another raid right before the... No, it wasn't a raid. That's right, it was a fire. I had them have to go and put out... No, this is the battery thing. That's right. Okay, now I remember. This happened. There was a storm, there were fires, but the rain was putting out the fires, so it wasn't a big deal. But unfortunately, because I didn't have this area roofed up, these batteries one by one started going off and exploding. So I had to rebuild this one. This one somehow came out totally okay. It's fully repaired and everything, but it got damaged pretty bad from the other batteries going off. So yeah, that's why a bunch of our colonists are injured right now, is because these batteries were exploding, and I just send people down here to quickly build roofs over these as much as I could and try and keep them from doing that again. That was my big mistake. Also, yeah, we were having like a pretty good food surplus right now because the carrots are just amazing. I really like the mod that added in carrots. They just grow so fast, and they give us... Well, and they give us a really good amount of food to eat and cook with. It's like one of my favorite crops in the game. No, it's my new favorite crop, I should say. Like, they grow faster than, what's the other thing that people usually, grow? Is it rice? Yeah, rice. They grow faster than rice and yield about as much, which is really cool. So, yeah, I think I'm going to let you guys see exactly kind of what I did for these rabbits, if I remember this correctly. I may not have it set up exactly like I did before, but yeah, I drafted everybody, had them all gather up here. Say Freeman, all the people who are terrible at shooting, like Freeman over here, who doesn't even have a gun anyways. Yeah, Freeman, I think was the one who I had man these, because I found out that with these sandstone gun complexes, it doesn't matter what kind of, what your shooting level is if you man it. It's basically exactly the same no matter what. It like doesn't show like the accurate, you know how, hey, let me show you something. Okay, so if you go to gear and you look at the information on a gun, it'll show the accuracy of the weapon at different ranges, right? So if something's right in front of you, the accuracy of the weapon is 78. If the distance is kind of short, but there's still some distance, it's 81, so on and so forth, right? But these things, there's none of that. They don't show you the accuracy of the gun, which means that no matter what colonist you use, it doesn't matter what their shooting level is, because it's still going to come out the same. I didn't have my kill zone set up completely, so these guys were going to be a huge problem, and I already knew that. 21 snow hares. It's just ridiculous. Alright, so let's have everybody gather up. Yeah, Freeman's going to man the turret. Justin, with your short-ranged gun, we're going to position you. We kind of want... Okay, here's what I'm doing differently than what I did before. I was expecting them to come through here, but I was expecting them to move out this way also, not just over here. And when I actually did it, I did have a couple of people over here, which was my big mistake. Yeah, that's right. The range on this thing is huge. So Princess, I can have her put, like right up over here. There we go. I'm just going to put you right on top of that. Justin, you're there. Lockhart, we're going to put you right here. NG, you're just going to kind of be a fighting sponge, I guess. Just going to try and gather up attention. Mai has a good range too, so we're going to put her... We're going to put her right next to the one manning the gun complex. Thaler, again, another... just another fighter, basically, to soak up damage for us. And there we go. This is kind of roughly how I had things set up last time. Let's speed up time for the bunny rabbits to get closer. Oh, Thaler, I forgot all about you! Oh no, I forgot! Oh no, some of them are... Now a bunch of them are going for Thaler. Oh no! Thaler, move! Get out of there! I forgot, that's right. That's one thing that I did do. I was like, oh no, Thaler's not going to make it in time. And so I had him just go and hide, like, down over here. And they just ignored him. But, oops. Goodbye, Thaler. Goodbye. Goodbye, buddy. Yeah, there we go. He's, just, fight the snow hares. There we go. Just, fight them off one by one. He's actually doing pretty good. Wow. Like, he's doing amazing. Like, one-hit killing all of... Like, one-hit killing just a ton of them. And it's giving everyone else an easier time also. I should have done this before. Oh my goodness. Oh, there we go. He's finally downed. How's his health looking? Death in 16 hours. Wow, I should have done this the last time, because the last time, like, everybody, and I mean everybody, got injured, and everybody had to heal. So this is why I saved Scum, because Princess was the last one who I had healed because she was a doctor. Yeah, I just realized that statement makes, that thought process makes no sense whatsoever. But that went completely differently. This actually went better than the first time, because like I said, everybody got injured, so I was having to deal with Princess getting like like a bunch of infections, and she just kept dying. So, oh, that was a nightmare to have to deal with. I save scummed like 4 times, I think, that day when I was playing this. So, yeah, there you go. That's what happened here. Let me show you what happened this... Oh, yeah, this one, there was a starvation, and I survived it magically. Okay, so yeah, here we are now. Pretty much everything is done. This is actually pretty close to the way we're at right now. For some reason, I was an idiot and didn't get the bedrooms done. Really, looking back at it, I should have focused on that a lot more than I was focusing on this. Because I watched someone else's playthrough of this game, and they were getting, like, by the time they got a colony that was this big, they were having just, like, just beds for... Like, they didn't have enough beds, basically. They had about maybe half as many beds as I had here. And they had, like, this one group of visitors come in. Visitors that were also willing to trade, right? And they just had just so many people. It was, like, 20... And this is just people, right? But they also had, like, a bunch of animals that were just going around, like, trampling all over their crops and, like, eating them. I felt really bad for that poor guy who was using this mod. And so, to fix that, I focused, like, a lot on just making sure this area is really big and that there's a lot of beds. And another cool thing about the mod I have installed is I actually can set up a trader's home area. Now, they're only allowed to hang out, like, within these areas and then go and eat. And this area eventually becomes, like, my chill, I guess, or whatever you call it. What is it called? The game room, I guess. The joy room. And we also had to deal with toxic fallout. And this is why I named this Surviving Starvation. Because we did have traders come by, and they just had a bunch of food. And I was able to sell stuff and buy up some food. So there you go. I have, like, yeah, I bought just a bunch of food from them. Because our carrots were all dying faster than they were growing. Yeah, and these coffee plants here, just everything was dying, and they just couldn't get any of it planted and sowed and everything like that. And now winter started, so these plants are pretty much going to stop growing, and then we're going to get to where we are now. I remember at the time that this happened, I ordered all this aloe to be harvested just as quickly as possible because it was like, oh no, winter! Yikes! Harvest everything! Harvest everything! No! Cut all the trees! That was what I did. That was that entire time, was because I realized the plants were gonna die from the cold. So yeah. And then honestly, oh yeah, I forgot to mention Freeman in the last one. Pretty bad character. Seriously, like really pretty bad character just overall. She's good at art, which is great. She's also good at, you know, growing and mining. She's pretty decent at that. Decent at crafting too, and she can even doctor pretty okay. She kind of stinks though because she's a pessimist, so I remember always having a hard time with her. She was also hitting on Justin, who already has, like, basically a wife. Oh no, that's right! Oh, the marriage! I forgot to bring that up! Justin and Mai got married. Justin and Mai got married. So, in our current save... No, here we go. This is, like, right before this one. This is, like, I don't know, maybe, like, 2 weeks before this one, I think. No, not 2 weeks. More like a few days. Going smooth. But yeah, I didn't save at that time, like right before the marriage. Or I might not be remembering. This could actually be like just after or just before the marriage. But I basically remember just being like, "All right, everything's going smoothly." So that's why I named it this way, because it was like things are going okay. Animals are starting to show up, which means we can hunt, which means survive the winter. Uh, yeah, just everything's going okay. There we go. About to say this game is Skyrim like loading times, but not this. Okay, that's right. I remember this one. Now, this one, there was like a really tiny raid. I'm not sure why it was so incredibly small, but it was just two people, one armed with a club and one armed with a gun. Uh, and yeah, they just came at us from up here. They're just like, charge! And then we just decimated them. And we had a raid just before them where the guys that were raiding us hid behind these walls, and they just they started shooting at our guys because they outranged us by just a little bit, which so I put those there to make sure that that doesn't ever happen again. So now people that are going to come through here, I'm basically going to set this area up so that they have no cover whatsoever, and they're not going to be able to use cover of any. Actually, I do need to change up this area though, and like, I don't know, do something to it to make it a tad bit more impossible for them to use any cover. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to like remove these and then extend these walls upward like this and just make it like a tunnel that they'll have to go through. And then walk into here and then our guys can just, yeah, blast them. Yeah, everything's going smoothly. So this is shortly after the wedding. I had it take place right in here. As you can see, I changed this area up completely. I moved the ballot box. I didn't even bring that up either. I have a leadership mod installed. So I have one leader who's a botanist and one leader who's a warrior. So everybody gets like an aura from being around them. So see, if I go to someone who's not a leader, look at her health tab. The leader are a warrior. So it gives her more movement speed, more shooting accuracy, better melee hit chance, melee cooldown, and apparently they can tend medically better. As well as a botanist, you know, like they can deal with animals better. Just all around, this is really, really good. But in the next video, I am going to send these guys off. I'm going to send them away to take out the next pirate base, because if we go to our current save, we are ready to go. We have mortar shells. We have the knowledge to create mortars, which we didn't quite have before. We had the knowledge to create the mortars, but we didn't have what we needed to make the shells. And I forgot to set up the scenario so that we get mortar shells right off the get-go. I was so dumb. Also, I got Crusader trained. That's something else that you guys should know about. I got Crusader trained up, which means I believe he should be able to haul stuff with us when we go and travel. But I don't really know how that works. Whenever I see trading caravans arrive, I see like animals holding some kind of like saddle packs, and I tried looking around and like I couldn't figure out how to make those. I didn't see anywhere that showed that I could make those. Ooh, I need to uninstall these actually. There you go. And these are for the trip, basically. That's the whole point of these, is these are just for us to take with us and then place inside of the tents. But yeah, now we have a new person named Tammy. Again, not that great a character, but she does have a passion for shooting, a burning passion, which is really good. So we have another shooter to go along with Princess. And she does have a pretty bad gun, but that's okay because we actually have our kill box finished. And we have our improvised turret set up to help us deal with any potential threats. So I'm going to keep to what I was saying before and just extend this out just a lot. I'm even going to, there we go, add that. There we go. And now we have everything. It's all done. Everything's ready. We have more than enough mortar shells to fight them. We have 8 mortar shells. So when we go there, we can start lobbing at them, and Thing will be going great. We have enough components to build a mortar. I looked into the cost to build these. I'm pretty sure it said 5 components. Yeah, and 4 components. Okay, and 250 steel. We have everything we need. We just need some extra steel, and by the time you see me in the next video, our guys will have just arrived to attack the enemy. But with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, but now it's time for you to pay your tax. You owe me. So you better click that like button and subscribe if you're new. And ring that notification bell too if you are at all interested in seeing what happens in the next video. With all that said, see you guys later. Bye-bye.